Hey, PTR team, it's Dan Corbett, managing partner of BlackIron Group. We met probably a year and a half ago as we scoped out the project with PTR. You guys, I think, went in a different direction and kind of did it alone, but I've been talking to David about some of the challenges you're facing, and one of the things he was talking about was the problem we had a year and a half ago with trying to get quotable products where you quoted, and then if it turned into an order, get individual VINs related for that. Well, we've done that for another client, so I wanted to send you a quick video for how that can work. So this is quoting using CPR to build quotable quotes, I guess, and then invoices or sales orders at the VIN level. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to create a new quote from an opportunity. It brings up a quick action, and I sort of fill this out. What I'm telling the system here probably isn't going to have any relevance for what you guys do, but essentially I'm telling it whether I'm selling new or used vehicles and what brand I'm selling from. Maybe there is a way that that sort of applies to you guys. And when I get that in there and get a quote, I've got the basic information from the quote. If I edit lines, it brings me to my first decision point. I can either quote quotable products, I realize it's a dumb term, but it's what we came up with, or inventory items. And so if I click on quotable quotes, you have maybe 150 item various and new and used that you sort of have lined up that you can quote on. Now, none of these have VINs, none of these are individual serialized items, but if I want to quote, I don't know, the N117, and I select that, excuse me, it adds that to my quote. And from here in CPQ, I can configure this product. So similar to what we talked about with you guys, I can add a toolbox. Add one. I can add a Dunajrac. We've already got one of those. And I can add various generic items. So I'll add one of those as well. And when I save that, I get those items and I get it listed here. For the generic add-on, so we've got add-ons that we know about, but there's add-ons that they don't necessarily have. If I have a custom description here, and you're a better typer than I am, but for the item, then this is what's going to appear on the quote and what will eventually send up to ERP. All right, so at this point, I've got a quote. I've got the quote line items, the N117 that we talked about, and the 3 add-ons that we put together. I forgot to give it a total, but you kind of get how this works. From here, using CPQ Plus, I can email this out to the customer in one button. So let's show you what that looks like. So it builds out, using Conga Composer, it builds out an email template. That template even has pictures in it and kind of gives me this very long description of what the trailer is. If I click on the PDF itself, we can see what that document looks like inside of the tool. Now, we built this using Conga, so we've got sort of a standard looking quote, although the image is kind of cool. If I roll down, though, I can see images that were related to that individual trailer type, 117, and even spec sheets for what the trailer kind of looks like. Okay, and you win some and you lose some. I don't mean that the way it sounds, but for the ones that we win, we now want to pick individual VIN level inventory. And so to do that, I've got another quick action over here to create an invoice from the quote. It basically fills out the information for me for the original quote and the information about the opportunity in the account. And it creates another record type in CPQ for another type of quote. Now, in this example, all those buttons changed, right, that you see up here, but the edit line stays the same. And so I'm going to click on that. And because I clicked on inventory and invoices, I then get the products, the actual products that they use CDK, the products that come out of CDK with the VIN numbers, if they exist, related to it. Now, they wanted to be able to choose those, but let's go look at N117s, 117s, there you go. So we can see the ones that are out there. We've got these 8 products that we can select. So if we're going to sell them 4 of these, we know what truck we're talking about down to the VIN and the product name that exists there. And if I select these, and then I save this, it brings it into the system for me. And you'll notice down here that I've got my add-ons as well, selected and ready to go against the trailers that I already selected. So I've got the information not only about the trailer that I put together, the individual VIN level trailers, but also the add-ons came along for the ride because I brought it over from my Quotable product. And if I click email invoice here, you get a different composer template, different information, no more pictures because we've sold it, and the document is subtly different as well. No pictures because we don't need them, but essentially the trailers that I'm selling at the price that we're selling, they calculate FET and the information against it. We also bring in the title because it's an invoice so that we can share that with them as well. So that's how we've handled, doesn't have to be exactly the same, but that's how we've handled it for another customer to do essentially what you guys are talking about, quoting out for a quantity, and then when it gets time to actually do a sales order, turn that into a proper sales order and invoice. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks. Bye.